family and forensic networkers, to another episode of Inspired or Expired. Usually I do these events at Presidential Suite somewhere in the world. I've done dozens of them, and there's a reason why we do the Presidential Suite, but we'll get to that later in the training. Let's quickly show you around. We're in Dominican Republic right now, and we're in Paradisus. Big compound, 4 or 5 hotels here. The unit you're actually getting is actually more modern than this, much better than this. But the reason I came here is because it's an older building, they have a Presidential Suite. And what you get is a new building, in this case is a month old, it's on December. Alright, this is one of the smaller ones, as you've seen. You've done some mass Presidential Suite around the world. This one here starts with a little living area here. You can see it's aged, but you know, it's well set for the time. There's a sitting area right here. We've done so many meetings at Presidential Suites that we have in the past. There's a small bar here. We've seen much bigger bars, and there is a little bit of something here for a mini bar. Now they're not really filling it up until somebody checks in. Obviously these things don't sell out every day, but usually it's much bigger than this. Alright, so this Presidential Suites in this type of area is really about the outside. You've got a beautiful outside, but we'll get to that next. They all have a walkout here. Again, this is like an older building. It is tastefully done, but it is a little smaller. This is a master suite. Again, for the time he was built, he was done nicely. It's still well put together. We got the ensuite here. There's your walk-in closet. And you have the inside jacuzzi. You got the shower facilities. And again, for the time being, this building is about 30 years old. This was the big suite in the area. They all have walkouts. Let's show you walkouts. I mean, if you can maybe zoom in right into that, and the parasetting that's going on right now over there. You know, I tried in Hawaii years ago. When you guys come down, maybe we can do some of that stuff. This is the outside. Now, I've done some Presidential Suites where you can have a party of 200 outside. This is not like that. It is small, but again, you have a big jacuzzi here. You can sit down with your team here, put your bottle of champagne, and that is your view. You can do meetings over here. Because when I use a facility like this, it's always about work, it's not about personal consumption. It's one-on-one time scratching your imagination, because quantum physics, once you scratch one's imagination, it'll never go back. My mentors did it for me, and I have passed it on for the past 30 years. So again, it's not the biggest one, but it is nice. This is a 5-star facility. They'll charge $3,000 or $4,000 a night for this. But the rooms that you have is actually better than this, better quality than this. It's a newer building. It's like 1 month old. It's a 30-year-old building. And those are the ones that you saw La Perla in Mexico, and you guys are all excited with, you know, Arborio on top of your bed. That's the type of room that we give you for $1,500 a night. We give that to you so you can experience the best part of the life menu that only the privileged can get to experience. So let's go back in. So today the training will take place in here from this suite. So let's get down to that. Ramin Mascaro here, the Forensic Networker. Until then, let's get started. All right, okay, guys, team, let's get started. People say, okay, what is inspired and expired? Well, most people have given up on their dreams. They don't even have a target. If you don't have a target, how are you going to hit it? Right? So what you need to do is to have a target. How do you get a target? You have to be inspired. My job as a coach trainer for the last 30 years, we created 17 millionaires because we inspire people. We inspire people. So I find most people are expired. They have no dreams. They do what they do. They go through life. They don't achieve anything. It's not about the next. It's about doing the same thing over and again. That doesn't get you anywhere. So this is about motivation, inspiration, awakening. That's a good word. Awakening. And it's about education. People always ask me, okay, what's the best Presidential Suites? I've done dozens of them, and you can go to forensicnetworker.com, and some of those videos are up there. If I have to choose quickly, because I want to get to my training, the one in Australia, Perth. So full top floor. I loved the way it was designed. The outside was huge, and it was kind of modern. The biggest one, maybe one of the biggest ones in Abuja, Nigeria. It's the world's biggest Hilton, apparently. It was aged like this one, but it was massive. It's a 3-bedroom suite, and the one in Dubai, Intercontinental Dubai, presidential suite. You know, it was very high tech. It wasn't that big. It was bigger than this, but it was very high tech, and I like high tech stuff. The one in Cancun is probably my favorite. You know, it's complete top floor, 2 exits coming in, phenomenal view. And anyway, so those are some of my favorites here, but that's not the reason why we're here talking about today. So let's talk about my history, because people say, okay, I know there's always one person, right? Becomes some blocks. A negative person could never see what you're doing and talking about and the benefit of it. It's always about, oh, well, maybe he's just showing off. Well, if you know me, if you've been following me the last 30 years, you know I don't have a bone of show off in my body. This is about you. This whole thing is about you. I invested pretty much a brand new Lamborghini this trip for you. There's hundreds of thousands of US dollars to create an instrument for you to be able to experience this. Not for me, I sent you guys. So it's all invested on you. This is all about you. You can't have one person always say, because, you know, well, is it showing off? No, I'm not. Because we all start at the same level. There was a time when I started my business, building my MLM career. I was 20 years old. Anywhere I had to stay, I couldn't stay at any hotel that started with an H. It started with an M. Motel. That was my beginning. So I do posters and forensic networkers that we all start at the same spot, but we don't have to stay there. We have to evolve. That's a good word, evolve. I know people, they never evolve. They make the same mistakes over and over and over and over again. They never evolve. And the personal life is a mess. Professional life, but never evolve. They make the same mistake over and over and over again. I know people like that. But we gotta evolve as human beings, right? Don't make the same mistake twice. So this is all about you. So I wrote a poster, you know, from motel to hotel to presidential suite, from economy car to luxury car to exotic cars, from economy flight travel to first class to private jet. We all start at the same level, but we don't have to stay there. We need to evolve. So this one is about you. This episode is about you. So yeah, I invest a ton of money for you guys, and I can't wait to bring you there. You know what? When you guys go on, you know, the videos you guys put out, when you first check in, you're qualified for this LD3 exotic vacation. You show up like, oh my God, this whole place is just for me, and you're by yourself. And you're videoing all this stuff. Your name is on the TV, and you got all this great stuff. You got like 3 jacuzzis in your suite. That's what drives me. Initially, it's about you, right? Paying your bills, having some money, whatever. But once you've done that for years and years and years, you got some money and you got your cars or whatever, then it's about other people. It's about other things. Giving off people what they want. Gratification becomes really, really important. So I want to today talk about what it takes to become successful, because the road to success is always under construction. It's never clean. It's a rough, it's a contact sport, all right? It really is. And it's not really other people that you should worry about, because who cares about other people? Someone, so what? Next, right? It's usually people closest to you that don't do most damage. Your personal life or your professional life. And I had a difficult time with that. Over the years, last 30 years, I learned to package it, that people I don't know, if they object to what I do, whatever, that's fine. I learned how to package that. That what used to keep me down for days and keep me down for one day. The objection, right? Then keep me down for a few hours, then an hour, then 30 minutes, then 2 minutes, then 1 minute, then 15 seconds. Somebody says, oh, that's one of those things. I'm up and running, right? I created millionaires, made millions. I don't care. I'm not looking for people's opinion, right? I'm looking for people, like-minded people, so I can inspire and build. I think what I had a problem with is that when I finally had somebody betray me on a personal level. And I could never understand why people would do that. Because when somebody brings so much into your life, right? You gain so much from them. Whether it's a student that I have for 10 years and I build them up, and I was encouraged to talk about you like you're God, right? You're more close to them than their own father and family. And all of a sudden they make a deal with another company, and then they got all this negative stuff. Try to steal your people. I don't understand. Okay, that's being unethical. That's fine. I had a hard time with that, but I managed that. But when someone at a personal level who you brought so much into your life to betray, I had a really difficult time with that. So I developed an attitude, an opinion now that you must adopt. And that is, never try to understand why people do what they do. Just accept it. Never try to understand, just accept it, because if you try to understand it, it will drive you crazy. Why would people do things? We don't know why people do what they do. So because we don't know, we just have to accept it and move on. Because that pursuit of understanding why will kill you, will drain you, hold you back. We don't want to do that. So first thing you write down, don't try to understand it when adversity hits, when people betray you. Just understand. Just accept it. Accept it. That's it. It's done. So we can move, we can free ourselves, right? We move on. Trust me, the people who do that, not once seen one of them succeed anywhere. So the biggest punishment is themselves. People who don't belong in your life, they'll find a way out. They'll find a way out. And that's been so true in my life. Personal life and business life. You know, you always attract who you are, and sometimes other people get into your life for different reasons, and then really quickly realize that they don't belong there in that world. And as much as they want to be there, they don't belong there, and they push themselves out. And your life moves on. You are who you are, and your life is amazing, and their mess, they go back to the mess that they were before. No time. Don't try to understand that. Just accept that. People come and go, right? All right. First thing, I want to manage some expectation. Things you should expect. One of the things is that I talked about earlier, betrayal. Personal life and business life. People will do that. Don't try to understand, well, why would they do that to me? Just accept that. Second thing, expect that you become part of your environment. So you always have to be careful who you hang with, because you will become part of the environment. Just accept it. Okay? Just expect and accept that you will become. So Jim Rohn says, 30 years ago, I went to his first seminar I went to was Jim Rohn. He said, your income is an average income of your closest circle. Quickly, I wrote down who I knew and what I thought they earned. I said to myself, man, I better get some new friends. So if you're dealing with, if your environment is dark and ugly and negative, guess what? You are part of that. You are that. You start shedding, not losing, shedding some of those people. There's a difference between losing those people or shedding. When you lose something, you usually want to get back. Find it, right? No, shed them like a dog hair, right? You don't want them back. You want them gone. So you have to start managing your life much better. You know, who you invite into you, are they benefit to you? Do you want their lifestyle? Do you have some positive to offer that to push you towards your target? If that's the case, wonderful. If not, push them out. And sometimes it's tough because there are people we love, like family and friends or whoever, right? So, but you have, if you want success, you must be able to do that. So, accept this and expect that you become part of your environment. So if your environment is not conducive to success, then you need to change that, okay? Sometimes we also ignore personal and professional, the good people in our life, because of bad influence. Sometimes we put our energy on the wrong people. If you have a big team, and sometimes we ignore our biggest team because they give us the luxury of worrying about a personal team, that's wrong. You gotta at least give them both equal attention. In your personal life, sometimes you ignore the best people in your life for the wrong person, right? Okay, we're smart enough to know what's right, and sometimes what's right is not what we want to do, but do what is right, not what you want to do. Hopefully, you're together, because it could be together. But even at that moment, while you're building the infrastructure of your life, whether it's your personal business, you will do the right thing. Once you build that, then you have more luxuries to do the things that you want to do. Now, doesn't mean you're not doing things you want to do while you're building. Of course you are. I'm just saying sometimes if what you want to do is counterproductive to what you must do, if what you want is counterproductive to what is right, then put one aside. Do what is right, and then once you achieve whatever you want to achieve, then you can explore what you want. And that is a struggle for some people, because we hold ourselves back, because if you have to choose between want and need and want and right, generally we take the wants. right? You go to a buffet, you could have the salad bar, you could have the fried chicken, and if you happen to, well, okay, if you're a fit person, whatever, I guess it doesn't matter, but if if you feel like you need to lose some weight and there's some health challenges, you still want the chicken, the fried stuff, but you really should be taking the grilled stuff and the salad. So my point is, though, until you're fit, you have to make some of those tough decisions. So don't ignore your team and work with the people you want to. If you're getting CV, all CVs equal, right? Work with everybody, like it or not. All right, so I'm running out of memory, so I want to do this very, very quickly. We talked about you become part of your environment. Objection. People will object to what you do. Who cares, right? I mean, just that's fine. But sometimes that comes from your family and friends. And for the first time, I'm going to go on record why they do this. Usually, I'm very diplomatic about these things. I'm all about family. But tonight, today I'm going to go on record why they're doing this. And we got to be honest about that. I've had people, my loved ones, when they're upset, they attack what I do. Like, seriously? And they have nothing good to offer. They have nothing good to offer. I just learned to ignore. The old Persian king said, the caravan will keep on moving while the dogs bark. Let them bark. We have a mission. We are the most noble profession on the planet. We talk about that a little bit later on. So the objection side of things, right? So why do family and friends? People are supposed to be your most trusted loved ones. Why do they object? And here's why I think they object. I know this is why they object. And that's because they're afraid to see you progress. What if it works? You say, well, that's not right. That's not nice. Well, guess what? Don't try to understand it. Just accept it. Now, why do I say that? Well, because when you took 8 other jobs, they never objected to any of your jobs, dead-end jobs. When you went and got a job, nobody objected to it. If you had a business and you just lost $500,000 or $50,000, nobody objected to that. Same people, right? Yet, when you go and join an MLM organization, they're all objecting all of a sudden, these people. Why? At 8 dead-end jobs, you don't object to that, so why object to this? Here's the reason why. See, when you had a dead-end job, they didn't have the partner in that. So, there was no liability for them. No objection. When you started your franchise, your traditional business, there was no partner in that, so they didn't have to object. But when you started your MLM business, you actually wanted to share with them, partner with them. All of a sudden, they're expired. They're expired. They're not inspired. They are expired. But all of a sudden, you give them an opportunity to be inspired, and they don't want to be inspired. They want to stay expired. But what if it works for you? What if it works for the rest of their life? They're going to face that reality that you give them an opportunity and they didn't. So all of a sudden, they're not even supporting you. They're saying all kinds of nonsense, things about nothing. They know nothing about. They know nothing about it, but they have all kinds of opinion. So why do they have opinion? They didn't have opinion on your job. They didn't have opinion on the traditional business. Why do they have an opinion on this? Because you you offered it to them. And they know, what if it works? If it works for you, for the rest of their life, they have to face that reality. They had a shot. They had the light. You opened the door. So they didn't want to walk through it, yet they don't want you succeeding either. They didn't. So that's not supporting you. If someone's genuine, they don't have to do this. They should be supporting you. They don't like MLM, that's fine. I don't like the car they drive either. I support it. So if we're genuine, we support no matter what. But if you're not supporting, because they don't want you, I call MLM a progress campaign. Because that's what we become so much more than who we are. So, here it is. Why don't they support? Because they're afraid. What if it works? And for the rest of their life, they have to face that reality. Get rid of them. Shed them. I've given you in my forensic networking courses, trainings, I've told you how to deal with that. No one is allowed to give you their opinion. They don't want to do it, that's fine. But they're not allowed to give you their opinion. So, if it's negative, we're not interested. They're allowed to take a look. Know what you know. They can give you their opinion in a nice constructive way, not to bash it. We're not interested in that. Just like they've never bashed your bad job, right? They didn't. So we expect that respect. But if they are full of opinion, then you know they're afraid. What if it makes up? What if it works for you? So that's the liability they don't want for the rest of their life. In their face, in their head, that they had that shot with you, but they didn't take it. So the other day someone says, Ramin, why promote such a lavish lifestyle? It was actually one of I think one of those Facebook messages. Why we could do so much with that money? Only ignorant people say that. Broke, ignorant people say that. At best, diplomatic way with it, uninformed people say that. Because the wealthiest people in the world are the biggest givers. Bill Gates gives away 95% of his income. All of these billionaires have foundations, and we've been supporting causes since the day we started 13 years ago. Dozens of campaigns. Where were you when 6,000 people we fed overnight in Somalia when there's a drought there? Kids, we fed them water and food. You can only do that when you're strong. So it's okay to promote lavish if that's what inspires you to do more. So you can go beyond yourself and be able to write a check every time somebody calls. Recently we talked about an orphanage in Kenya. You saw the videos, 120 kids. To us, luxury may be whatever. Maybe for you it's that kids to Harvard. For me, the McLaren or whatever it is. For those kids, you know what luxury was? Rice and meat. Being able to take the rice home to the families, hiding under their jackets, and a big smile on their faces. And we've supported that orphanage home, and we have big plans for them. Big plans, and we're going to put shower facilities for boys and girls, and it's going to be awesome and epic. But we can only do that through this platform because we could earn more than what we need. So I wrote in my book, The Forensic Networker, MLM is not a choice. If you live in Western world, it's a moral responsibility. MLM is a moral responsibility. Why? Because you have the opportunity. Many countries, they don't have that opportunity, but you do. So, forensic philosophy, want more, become more, earn more, and give more. That's the last part. Most important, giving more. You can't help the world if you're struggling yourself. Just because you decide not to be the better version of you, and all you criticize people who are. Really? You criticize because they want the nice, lavish things? Listen, if that's what inspires them, to not waste their time like you are, and become more, and to give more, and to go ahead and give away 95% of the wealth because they're billionaires or millionaires or whatever inspires them to be able to do that. MLM for most people is the only platform where we could do this. And we display that giving every single week in this business. So it's okay. The lavish, the presidential suite, the private jet travel, the Lamborghinis, it's okay. It's okay. Because if that's what inspires you every single day to do more and then to give more, where without it in a job you wouldn't be able to do any of that, then which one is better? It's okay if you don't want to change. I'm not talking to you guys who not to read it, not to watch it. I'm just saying if there is somebody out there. There's always that one person, right? Oh, they're showing off. Oh, the lavish lifestyle. Really? It was this pursuit of the lavish lifestyle that's feeding an orphanage home. What if I had a job? Would I be able to do that? It's a pursuit of the lavish lifestyle that when a drought hit, 6,000 kids got to eat and drink on a fly. What if I had a job? Could I do that? That's what happens in MLM. You're able to do things that you can't do in a traditional job. So it's okay. If you won't have access to life's full menu, that only the privileged get to see, but the price doesn't matter anymore. And if that's going to give you enough energy to do more, become the best version of you, and because of that you're achieving more, because of that you're giving more, everybody should be that way. I wish we had 8 billion entrepreneurs in the world. It would be a much better world. Next topic. People say, okay, Ramin, okay, I'm ready. I want to do the opulent lifestyle. How do I achieve my opulent life? I get in, what do I do? The formula to creating wealth is not that complex at all. It's very simple. If anybody, go get somebody, right? Sell product, launch a few shops, so add some team members. Then you want to double your income? Easy, double their income. Zig Ziglar, give enough people what they want, you get what you want. So if you got 10 people you got in, you want to double your income, double their income, automatically you double yours. What a beautiful concept. Traditional business is not like that. You can double your income, quadruple, you can become a billionaire. Guess what? You're not doubling no one's income. Only in MLM that can happen. So simple. The formula is simple. You want to double your income? You double your people's income. Help them sell more. You want to create wealth? Create wealth within your team. It's not complicated how you create wealth in a business. So give enough people what they want, and you will get what you want. People say, okay, how do I get my people to double their income? You got to inspire them with your actions, with what you say, what you teach, what you support. That's how you inspire them, because they will duplicate you. You can hide behind a keyboard. You got to be there with them. You can't be away and, I'm kind of there, no, that doesn't inspire anybody. That's duplicated. If you're not on the forefront selling products or helping others to sell products or launching new people or helping others to launch new people, guess what? That is duplicating, and you have a dead team, because they will do what you do. I think some veterans, I don't use the word leader, I mean liberally in this industry, that person is a leader. No, I think the leader has a handful of leaders, the whole industry. Let's talk about, I think the MLM veterans, people have been in them for 20 years, but they learn nothing, right? It's like, they're really confused. And when they hear me talk about that, because I've been doing this for 30 years, I'm still at it, man. I'm at it. It's always about achieving, next. I wrote in my book, life is not about achieving happiness, it's about happily achieving. It's about the next. We'll say, Rami, you're kind of harsh. Isn't MLM about working to 5 and get to 50 years old? I used to say that, except that was 30 years ago. And I realized, just like every other industry, Facebook, every other industry, internet came in, businesses changed. Those days are gone. Now you work for 5, 6, 10, whatever it is, and you benefit for the rest of your life. But MLM is about residual commissions, not residual welfare. See, people are confused about that. It's like, well, am I supposed to just collect and not do anything? No. First of all, governments have an issue with that. Policies have an issue with that. But commissions means you sold something or you help other people to sell something, whether you support, teaching, whatever. You're part of that equation. Residual welfare is where you do nothing and you collect checks that you don't belong to, you don't deserve. We want to be there. No, collecting residual income is awesome. But morally, you should be saying, you know what, I should do something. I should pick up the phone when they call. I should do some training, get on a weekly call, contribute. See, the world, how you get paid in the world, this is something I learned early on in life. You don't get paid or what you want to get paid. You get paid is the value that you bring to the marketplace. The value. So if your team happens to do $1,000 a week in sales, well, that's the value that get paid based. If your team does $1 million a month in sales, well, that's the value that you bring, and that's how you get paid. And for that, when we get residual income, like McDonald's, they get residual income. Can you imagine how much support they provide to the franchises every single hour of the day? If they just sit there and collect, they have a whole corporation supporting every franchisee to make sure that they're successful. And when they're successful, McDonald's collects that's what we do in this industry, folks. We have to support our people. So this idea that week by week, month by month, I just sit down and collect, you're going to struggle hard. Your business will never take off because your people will follow you. After all, you got a title, you got a penny, that works for you, then it works for them. And this is why you wonder why you're struggling. You're struggling because they're looking at you. Not only you're not inspiring anybody, not only you're not supporting anybody, you're actually hurting your business. They're looking at you and they're following that. You set the pace and culture in your team. It starts from the top. You set it for your team. So MLM is not about residual welfare. It's about residual income, residual commission. That means you're involved in the process of sales, whether as personally, what you're selling or you're supporting. That's what MLM is all about. Remember, Zig Ziglar, give enough people what they want, then you get what you want. Remember that? That's the whole foundation of MLM, right? Give enough people what they want, then you get what you want. What a beautiful concept. What a beautiful concept. Listen, you know what? I put these crazy promotions that doubles your commissions weekly, double this, double bonus, that, whatever. I do that, and what happens? The company sales go up, right? But you are the first beneficiary of it. I came and invested hundreds of thousands of dollars to stretch your imagination. Quantum physics, so you can never be the same again. Evolving. You get the benefit of that first, and once you evolve, then we get the benefit of it afterwards. That's how it works. So what else? Here's the thing about leadership. Let's talk about leadership. Because I made some mistakes myself. I've learned a lot. That's the advantage of having a CEO who was on the field, built 5 multi-million-dollar businesses. I'm still learning and evolving. See, policy dictates behavior, and I used to think that give people stuff they don't deserve, and maybe that inspire them to do more and more. That's how it works. People will either inspired or they're expired. So that's what this whole episode is all about. You give them something for free, well, they just take it. They'll still do the minimum as they need to. That's generally what people will do. Do the bare minimum, right? You have a job, you have to work 8 hours. Do you stay 9? Well, if you have to, you're pressured. Otherwise, you stay. No, you go home. If anything, you leave 15 minutes early, right? That's human beings, right? We always do the bare minimum we can get away with. So, policy dictates behaviors. You have to make sure the culture is about achieving. Life is not about achieving happiness, it's happily achieving. Remember that? It's about achieving the next, and the next. So, giving someone something they don't deserve. First time, they appreciate it. This is true with your personal life too. Second time, they expect it. Third time, they demand it. We want people to be responsible. Get the things done. Do the daily MO. Let's not create false expectation. Managing expectation, they must work. It's going to be a rough ride, but it's worth it. It's not easy, but it's worth it. So we got leadership that's not doing anything, collecting checks. You know, they always expect, as MLM, we always expect the company to do things for us. Give us more stuff. Double CV, double that. Okay, that's fine. The company does some of that. What about you? Did you double your effort? So managing expectation. You give it once. You give people once things they haven't earned. First time, they appreciate it. Second time, they expect it. Third time, they demand it. So it has to be a platform where both of us work together on that. So, let me ask you this now. Are you expired or inspired? Are you expired or inspired? Well, let's answer that question with putting out a little test. Let me ask you this. Are you excited about creating wealth? Or it doesn't matter to you? Because remember, creating wealth is not about you. It's about other people. You have to make a whole bunch of people wealthy first before you become wealthy. So is creating wealth something that excites you? If it is, you're inspired. If it isn't, you're expired. Are you excited about tapping into your full potential? Being a best you. You don't have to be anyone else. Being a best you, or you just want to be who you are, how you are brought you to where you are. Are you excited becoming the best you? Health, wealth, personal life. If not, you're expired. If you want to be the best you, then you are inspired. Do you like this video? Or is that, this is good for other people, but it's not for me. How about, are you excited to see other people progress? Are you supported no matter what? Or are you full of opinion why they shouldn't do it? I mean, you're not doing it, but you're full of opinion why they shouldn't do it. That determines if it's inspired or expired. You don't have to do what they're doing, but you need to be supportive, especially if they're loved ones of theirs. So in any event, we want to end this. It became a little bit longer than I wanted to be. So much to talk about. Inspired or expired is a forensic networking terminology and trademark. Every single day you need to ask yourself that question. Am I inspired? If money is important, if lifestyle is important, if you're not happy where you're at, some aspect of your life is not happy. You know what? MLM is the fastest method of distribution in the past 30 years. It's growing like crazy worldwide because people have a need. They want more. So that's what I'm saying. Since we have this opportunity where we live, it's not a choice, a moral responsibility. The world needs MLM. It's the only platform where the religions never come out, politics never come out, color never comes out, education never comes out. Never comes out. We work as a team. It's the only platform where we could earn more than we need so we can give more. So if you're inspired, I want you to adopt the forensic networking terminology, which is, first of all, want more. Set some serious targets for yourself. Second, become more. You can't stay the same and double your income. You got to become more. You got to make some change. You got to evolve. That's a good word. Evolve as a person, as a leader, as a partner, as a husband, as a wife. You got to evolve. If you're not getting better, you're getting worse. Another amazing forensic networker terminology. If you're not getting better, you're getting worse. You can't sustain you. You either try to get better or you're getting worse. If you're trying to sustain, you're trying to get better, it does at least it sustains, but if you try to stay how you are because of many life factors, you're going to decline. So become more. Then the result of that will be you're going to earn more. If it's money you're looking for, if it's weight or health, same thing. You're going to get that reward. Initially, you want it all for yourself because it's the new freedom that you've got. But I'm telling you, once you've got all that stuff, what becomes more important is helping other people smile. That's why I love MLM. That's why I just can invested hundreds of thousands of dollars because I want to see you guys smile. I love those videos of people walking in with a butler service and phone and, hey, can you go, iron my shirt for tonight? And they're sitting in a hot tub, bubbling away, and people say, oh, look, this is all for me. Gratification. Give more. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's putting out a shower facility for orphanage home where boys and girls have to use the same go-out outside as opposed to beautiful his and hers shower. That excites me because for me it's not about personal stuff anymore. I'm very blessed. It's about other people. And I'm only like that because I'm in MLM, because if I had a traditional business, made all this money, I have a bunch of employees doing stuff and the rest is mine, right? So, in any event, I'm a big fan of MLM. Inspired and expired. We do this in a hotel facility like this, and I hope that you will do your own inspired and expired from some presidential suite somewhere in the world, maybe on a private jet. I've done that, and maybe driving your Lamborghini in the topless on the coast somewhere, talking about how you started and how you had your humble beginnings like I did, where and then you worked your way up, and that inspires people. How you're feeding your own orphanage homes, and you have your own stories to share. So are you inspired or are you expired? This whole video was about you becoming more, being the best version of you, whether it's for personal gain up front and then giving more to other people. Whether it is that car or vacation or Harvard for your kids, or maybe just want to do 10 orphanage homes, whatever. Be the Bill Gates, 95% of your income, give it away. The whole thing was about inspiring you. It was about making the right decision with keeping who you should keep in your life, who you should shed. Because I'm telling you, those people are holding us back on a daily basis. And we're unfair to people we should be more fair with. Because it's usually the negative people that drain us. They just drain us, clutter us. So we've got to be very careful and choose well when it comes to those things as well. So we can stay inspired. So I'm Garlo here, the Forensic Networker. Hope this was probably the longest episode of Inspired or Expired I've done. But it builds the foundation of what success is. Dealing with some issues that we have to deal with every day, like, being positive and inspired and avoiding some blocks. Dream bandits and life bandits and MLM bandits. I talk all about that in the Forensic Networking chapters. With that, I want to thank you for watching. Share this with all your team members and the sunblocks and the bandits. And there's nothing shameful about MLM. If any, it's the most noble profession in the world. Because everything we talked about in this video was about giving to other people. You don't get that in traditional business. You definitely don't get that in a job. You just can't do it. It's all about other people. Giving up people what they want, you get what you want. Life is about not about achieving happiness, but happily achieving the next. With that, stay forensic. Set very firm self-targets. And let's go make 2019 a kick-ass breakaway year like we've never had. Until then, stay forensic.